Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Dorki's Entropia Universe report. One of these days we are going to get up to 100 episodes in this series. Hopefully I can manage not to accidentally yeet myself out of existence before that milestone. I had a bunch of videos planned for the last week, but they were all left in various stages of completion thanks to a little accident with canned food. I almost lopped off top of the middle finger on my right hand when my hand slipped while I was opening a can of meatballs with tomato sauce. The lid went halfway through my finger in an instant. And while this is not a life-threatening injury by any stretch of the imagination, it has made it difficult for me to write and use the mouse properly, at least until it heals enough that I can stop worrying about the wound opening back up. Anyway, the takeaway from this story is that if you are diabetic and you feel wonky from low blood glucose levels because you forgot to eat that day, then going straight for the canned food or using a sharp knife might not be the brightest of ideas. On the bright side, I now have a great excuse to flip off random strangers on the street while my middle finger remains wrapped up and more or less fixed in that position. Also, it is good that it was the fleshy part of my finger that got cut rather than the knuckle, and the wound did not get infected. Although I did bleed like a stuck pig for some 5 odd minutes before I managed to get it wrapped up, and it took a while longer for the bleeding to stop after that. Anyway, let's get to the Entropia Universe stuff now. Obviously, I spent a lot less time playing Entropia this week than I normally would have. I did a fair bit of sweating on Monday and Tuesday that netted me about 8,000 bottles of sweat. However, I did not sweat the weak Penelions at all for the rest of the week after I cut my finger on Wednesday. I did do 4 or 5 pleek hunts though. I found it surprisingly easy to hunt them even with my currently limited ability to use the mouse. All I had to do with the mouse is turn my avatar around, which can be done easily with just the thumb and the pinky. Rest was just pressing F and W for 2 hours straight until I expended all my ammunition. The pleek hunts are one of the projects I planned to work on from last week onwards. I did get a lot of footage for videos, but I just could not force myself into writing the commentary and editing after my injury. I already had one episode of pleeking mostly ready when it happened though, so I will edit it and publish it tomorrow. I don't think I will have enough time after I am done with today's episode of Entropia Universe report. Whatever the case, I will try to work on further episodes this week as well as some mining videos from the mining trip I did here on Cyrene. I do not know how long that will take though. Writing is still rather difficult as I do my best not to hit the keyboard with my injured middle finger, which is also why this episode might turn out to be somewhat shorter than usual. By the way, I was originally using the Initiate's pistol from the trade terminal here on Cyrene for my hunts on pleeks. This week I switched to the Initiate's laser carbine. It dawned on me that I should hunt with rifles more now that I am finally pushing for the commando unlock this year. My sniper professions are the closest to level 70, and despite the natural skilling being slow as fuck, it is still better than using everything else other than rifles. I might even get it done before I finish with Pleaks and sod off back to Calypso or to Arcadia. My progress is a bit under 1% of a level per 150 ped hunt on Pleaks. I am at level 69 and 73% on my way to the next level. So I should get the unlock in roughly 30 more Pleak hunts. Technically, I only need about 14 or 15 more hunts to complete my collection of rare Pleak wings at this point. But who knows, maybe I will stay here longer than that. But even if I do not, I can then get the unlock hunting something else. I am yet undecided what will be my next project in Entropia Universe after I am done with the Pleaks. Although it is likely to be either some other small mob or unamped mining. Either way, I still have enough Pleaking ahead of me for at least 2 or 3 weeks. Things have gone a bit better this week on the investment side of my Entropia Universe experience than the last few weeks. Arcadia Moon Deeds paid out 3 times over the week from Monday, May 18th to Monday, May 25th, 2020 for a combined total of 4 peg per deed. This means that one of the 3 payouts was for 2 peg per deed, while the remaining 2 payouts were for 1 peg per deed. While this can in no way be considered to be an amazing payout, it is a fairly decent weekly return for the AMDs. However, Arcadia Underground deeds outperformed them as usual. AUDs paid out 5 times over the week, while 4 payouts were for 1 peg per AUD. The remaining payout was for 3 peg per deed. This brings the combined total per AUD up to 7 peg. Ancient Greece shares finally paid out 1 peg per share after 5 weeks of diddly dick. I really hope this will be more of an exception rather than the norm. But let's be honest, it is far more likely to be a common occurrence from now on. And I do not think there are that many people who truly believe that Ancient Greece shares will be any good. I base my assumption on the fact that there were still 666,953 Ancient Greece shares available for purchase this morning. People certainly keep buying them here and there, but that is nothing to write home about considering that it has been more than 2 months since they went on the market and only 83,000 out of the 750,000 shares have been sold so far. On the other hand, Crystal Palace shares paid out 5 peg per share today. That is a rather phenomenal payout in my opinion. If I had some spare cash and I had to choose between the available deeds and shares, I would definitely pick up a bunch more Crystal Palace shares. At least unless I had enough for a Calypso land deed. I still do not own one of those. I am not sure whether they are a better investment than the Crystal Palace shares at the moment, but they should be a decent option anyway. Either way, the cheapest stack of Crystal Palace shares was priced at 18 PED and 60 PEC when I took the footage for today's episode this morning. To conclude, I should be more careful with what I do when I am busy. I really want to keep all my fingers the way they are, healthy and functional. By the way, the donkeys next door have not started drilling and hammering away yet. I actually managed to write this whole episode in peaceful silence. Maybe they are waiting till I start recording. I hope not. Anyway, I still have a lot of pleeking ahead of me before I am done with the stamina mission. However, that is fine with me. Ah fuck, never mind, I spoke too soon. They just started drilling. Please cross your fingers that I can record these before they go full on retard mode on that power drill. Thank you for watching. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Thank you. By the way, in case you want to know, I did manage to record the commentary while the workers next door were on a lunch break.